Ever wondered why you keep missing the ball and go flailing into another planet or dimension? Welcome to a new Rocket League series, Rocket League Masteries. My name is Nori Plays, and in this episode of Rocket League Masteries, we're gonna cover something very basic and crucial: car control. And I get it. Right now you must be thinking, who the hell is this guy to tell me what I'm gonna do to get better at the game? Well, I can tell you that I've had Grand Champion for around, God knows, like 10 seasons in a row now. Ever since Season 3, I have hit Grand Champion every season and have grinded the game ever since. So let's head right in and talk about different aspects of car control that you could be learning to become a better player. Let's go. Alright, but before we get into free play, I need to cover the one really important thing if you're a new player in this game is the options and the menu, tab and setting, all of that stuff. I'm going to go through each tab very briefly, and explain each of these options and what you should have them on for the best outcome in your gameplay. Alright, so we got gameplay for this first tab right here. And as you can see, text chat is team only. That's all preference. Like, if you don't like getting flamed online, I'm just going to tell you this straight away. Disable your text chat. Or put it to team only. But if your teammates flame you as well, just disable it. Alright, voice chat is if you want voice chat, whatever, self-explanatory. Split screen is when you have two different players playing. So if you decide what you want to do with that. Cross-platform play is the option that enables you to play with console players online. So players from, for example, PlayStation, PC, Nintendo, all those guys are going to be linked in the cross-platform play. So if you turn that on, you will play across all the different consoles and platforms available. Client send rate, you want to put this to high if you have good internet, right? What this does is it limits the amount of packets sent to the server if you're any good with internet, and obviously you want as much packets being sent to them as possible for the smoothest experience online. Same with the server send rate, very similar. You want to send packets as fast as possible to your side as well, so the bandwidth is like your internet. You can set these to medium. I wouldn't put these to low, by the way. Purely because low would make this game feel very unplayable. Input buffer, right. If your internet is insane, go STS. Or like if you're playing on Ethernet, STS. Default used to be called Legacy and no longer is though. But CSTS is also a pretty good one. It's just like a shorter one and it gives you a little less latency, I guess. Let's see. This stuff is self-explanatory. Competitive divisions is like when you see your rank, it tells you what division in that rank that you're in. So for example, right here, if I went to competitive, you see it says Grand Champion 2 Division 2. That's because I have that option checked right here. Extra mode ranks is like hoops, all that stuff. The stat level, if you want to see everything available. Tournament schedule region is for when you want to play tournaments online. This is a new feature added pretty recently. And basically, if you set this region to, for example, US, it'll tell you all the tournaments that are available in the US in that time. Camera settings, very important. So straight away, because I have backers mod, you actually get presets. So if you're interested, I'm going to link backers mod down below in the description and the comment section if you guys are interested in backers mod. Basically, backers mod is like a skinning mod for the game. It will not get you banned, but it's great. You should get it. Right, field of view. So the field of view should be at around 100 to 110. This is so that you can see as much as possible around you. It's almost like having an eagle eye, right? Around you and around the car. So yeah, there's that field of view. You can play with this. figure out which one you want best. Personal preference. Right. Distance. Now, distance is actually very important because, let's say, most freestylers play with a low distance, meaning that the camera's position in accordance to the car is very close, as compared to a distance that most pros use, which is more further away from the car to let them see a lot of the pitch a lot more. So, if you're playing this game competitively, definitely put your distance between maybe like 260 to 280. Don't go like, unless you're an extreme case, like, and you want to go above that or below that, then feel free to mess around with that. Height is the level of the camera is at in accordance to your car in terms of vertical height. So if I go into free play right here, really fast. And I mess with the height, you can see it goes up and down. So if I put this to around 160, you can see it's really high above my car. And if I put this back to 100, you can see it's kind of almost lined up with my car, which is great. That's kind of what you want. So the recommended height is around 100, 90, or 110. Angle. Right, the angle is like how the camera tilts down towards facing your car. So if you had a camera of 0, you're basically looking like this. You're looking upwards, right? And if you have -4, you're looking more downwards towards the car. So, and a good setting for this is around -3, -4, -5. -2 maybe. But yeah. There you go. Stiffness is another very important setting. It basically changes how your car feels because in this game, your camera is actually pretty glued to your car. So this is basically a meter of like how glued you want it to your car, the camera. So if I had it 0, it basically would be really loose. You can see the camera. And it wouldn't be that glued to my car, so it would flail sideways a little more. And when I go supersonic, it gets further away. When I reverse, it goes towards me. So on and so forth. But if you turn up the stiffness to max, you can see that it really is sticking to that car. So even if you go supersonic, it's gonna really stick to that car. It's not gonna let you see the side like low stiffness would. So yeah, it's gonna completely stick to your car with high stiffness. You want it in the middle. Higher if you want it more glued to your car. Lower if you want it less glued to your car. I found that 0.4 is perfect for me, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Swivel speed is how fast you move. You look around with your right stick right here. If you look on my controller overlay. So if I turn this all the way up, you would see that this would move insanely fast, right? So let's turn that back down. Okay, and transition speed is actually how fast your car's camera transitions from when you swap off of bull cam and back into it. So the higher this is, the more snappier it will be. So I'll show you. Yeah, so this will make it instant, pretty much. And you kind of don't want that. It actually gives me motion sickness. So I'm gonna... You can keep this at 1, or you can put it at 1.2. Don't put it higher, because you will get nauseous from just looking at the game. Alright. So the controls. The controls are very useful. They can change how your car feels completely. Steering sensor... Alright, I'm just gonna go through what I have. And you guys can like tweak it and go along as I show you. So 1.8, 1.8, 0.07 because I have a PS4 controller. Dodge dead zone 0.7 to stop me from flipping around like a dumbass. Controller vibration disabled because why would you ever play with vibration on? Full camera mode toggle so that I don't have to hold one button just to keep full cam on. Push to talk so that I don't have my microphone constantly on in the game. Mouse sensitivity and this stuff don't matter unless you're playing on keyboard and mouse, but I recommend the controller for this game. My bindings, okay. So you can follow these as you will. I'm using like an Xbox thing for my PS4 controller. So it will show up as Xbox controls, but you can easily see what these are on your PlayStation controller. So yeah, I'll just scroll through these really slowly so you guys can copy them real quick. Alright, interface. Right. Here you can mess around with like your UI, all that good stuff. So interface scale, I have these both maxed out because I like my UI nice and chunky. Just makes it really easy to see. Nameplate scale's kind of big, to be honest. You can put it in even bigger, but 150% I found is actually okay. So nameplate mode, you can simplified is where you get the diamond triangle heads above the players. Default is where you just constantly have the names available to you. Match notifications, right. So you only want time updates. Kickoffs are useless and everything else is useless. So you don't really need anything. If they had an option for none, I will honestly just put it to none. So connection quality indicators, you actually want to turn this off. Because when your internet goes haywire, you don't want to get spammed with like this icon on the side of your screen when you're playing. So yeah, turn this off. Colorblind mode like changes the look of the pitch around you. It adds a bit more contrast to the field, which is nice. You can turn this on and off and just mess around with it as you will. Force default team colors. So there are like clubs and teams you can get in this game, and they can mess around with the colors of the pitch, the colors of the cars, and things like that. And if you force default team colors, it will always be orange and blue. So I checked this on because it's just convenient. Notifications during gameplay. Nope. You don't want these, because then you'll get spammed as well, just like with the connection quality indicators. Team colored. Yeah, all of these are just useful, right? The ball cam indicator you need on. The ball arrow you need on. The other stuff is personal preference. So let's go to video. This is important. It lets you see the game a lot clearer, a lot better. So FPS, you want it highest. If you have an 144Hz monitor or above, you want it on max FPS. If you have 60Hz, however, you should crank this down to around 60, 62, just to prevent your screen from tearing. Alright. So render quality, high quality to make it look as sharp as possible. Same with anti-aliasing, off, because if you turn these on, it will make your screen go all smeary and weird. You don't want that. Set all these three to performance if you can. Get the most frames and input latency down as much as possible. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, all of these off apart from high quality shaders maybe, and transparent goalposts. High quality shaders just makes it look a little bit more well shaded. But this is personal preference. But you want these ones in the middle to be off, just so that they don't clutter your visual experience. Audio, 20%. This is all up to you, like, but I recommend having music to 0, ambient volume to 0, crowd volume to 0, and voice volume to 0, I guess. So you only have gameplay and you have master. This is so that you can just focus on the game audio itself without no, like, random crowd cheering and commentators and all that, right? Alright. So with the options covered, we can finally get into the next section of the video, which is the actual car control itself. So what I want to start off with first is obviously dribbling. You want to get used to dribbling. Whenever you dribble, no ball cam. Just don't use ball cam. Ball cam makes dribbling so AIDS, unless you're dribbling in a straight line, obviously. Then you'll be fine, but no ball cam makes it so much easier, because the camera's not constantly spinning around your car, right? So when you're dribbling, and you want to pop the ball up onto your car, cut into it like this, on the side. You can also follow my controller overlay as I'm going along. explaining all of this stuff to you guys. So, okay, so yeah, you wanna to practice getting good at car control. You first need to understand how the ball behaves according to your car, right? So, what you wanna do is just spend a couple of minutes every day just popping the ball up like this. Just driving into it right before it bounces. Oh, right after it bounces, sorry. To get it to bounce again. This is very useful, so that you can set up shots in games like 1v1, 2v2. Because you never know when your opponent's gonna challenge. And this makes it so easy to just ball people. You don't understand. Alright, next thing is ball carrying. So if you want to ball carry, again, you cut into the side of it like before, but this time you try to keep it on your roof. So here you boost whenever you're behind the ball to make up for the speed, and when you're in front of it, you slow down. And just keep doing this until you get the hang of this. And trust me, if you're a bronze player, this will get you such a big advantage over other people. It's crazy. Okay, flicks are next, I guess. Just briefly covering the basic mechanics of the game. So, like again, pop it up on your car like before. And let's look at where you want to aim the flick. So, in my case, for this dribble, I want to aim the flick to the right side of the net here. So I go to the left side of the ball. So then I can flip into that side to push it to the right side. So left side will make it go right. And if you're on the right side of the ball, it'll make it go left. Just imagine like opposites. That's literally what this is. Okay, once you get these things down, once you get your flicks, your dribbling down, you should be able to get it past bronze, no problem. And then the next thing in ranks like silver and gold, etc., are aerials. So aerials are going to be very useful. They're like a key mechanic in this game, if you were to say. And one way you can practice them is by simply air dribbling like this. You can double touch if you want to, or you can air dribble it. Completely up to you. But you can also start off the ground like this, and just kind of try chasing the ball in the air without it like pulling away from you. So yeah, if you go up to the ball, there you go, pause, and just try doing this every day until you get the hang of boosting and car control. Air roll is also useful. I use normal air roll for my shots and things like that. And for freestyling, I use air roll right, which is on my R1 button right here. Okay, so aerials can be like tricky, but they honestly just take time. You just need to practice them. I'm gonna provide a custom training pack in the description and the comment section below as well for you guys to practice your aerials. If I were to show this training pack to you guys right now, if I have it. So one of them is called the Ultimate Warm-Up. It has around like, well, 30 shots that you can take to get consistent at the game. 50 even. Yeah, so as you can see, it starts you off right here. And you can just aerial like so and try score a goal. Just focus on hitting the ball towards the net when you're starting off. Like this, and just following it if you can. Or even just try scoring it. Even if it bounces on the floor, that's still a great achievement for a new player to get, so. The next thing I want to cover is shooting. So shooting can be in different forms. So you have things like redirects, you have ground shots, again you have flicks, you have pinches now as well, and I'm gonna cover the basic ones, which are redirects and just ground shooting for now. So ground shooting, you wanna like flip towards the ball, hopefully hit it with the corner of your car, because that gives you the most power. So let me show you guys again what I mean. So if you do the bounce dribble like before, you see how much power I generated there? 112 kilometers an hour. That's because I used the corner of my car and I drove into the ball as it bounced. That's called a power shot. So whenever a ball bounces and you completely smack it, let me show you. So as soon as it bounces, bang, that's a power shot right there. Okay? So you want to practice those bounce dribbles into a power shot to get the most out of those. So redirects, right. So I'm gonna use backers mod again to show you guys how redirects work. Redirects basically are a pass from a teammate that go down the field. And your job is to try direct the ball into the goal as well as possible. So there we go. Ball's coming. And these will be very hard for new players because they will get very confused at like how to angle their car to score the goals. But with enough practice again, you should be fine. Again, use backers mod, and if you do have backers mod, you can use the down on your D-pad right here, as you can see on the controller overlay. And that will send the ball flying towards you. The other ones are your left D-pad, which basically sends it to the backboard for backboard reads, but that is another topic for another video. The right on the D-pad sends the ball towards you and it's rolling, so you can use this to set up things like air dribbles and just basic aerials. And the up arrow is to actually set up dribbles, so you can use that as well. And if you want to climb the ranks, you want to be able to hit the ball and do all this stuff as fast as possible. So you would go dribble into a power shot like so, bang. You want to just be able to do this as fast as possible, like so. So that about covers it for this video, I think. If I missed anything, you guys can let me know in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to add it into the next episode of this series. And if you enjoyed it, subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.